In this video, we're taking a look at the Pocket 4 and the Pocket 3. I'm going to try and do as many shots as I can using the same settings so we can see what camera looks best, or is there any difference at all. So right now you're watching me in the Editors Key studio. I've set up both cameras in the same way, or as far as I can. They're both in their log profiles. The Pocket 4 is in D-Log, the Pocket 3 is in D-Log M. I've manually set the white balance, and we have everything else pretty much on an auto setting. We're not using any ND filters. So this is the image quality that you can expect if you film in D-Log in a studio environment. Now, what I'm going to do throughout this video is get shots as close together as I can using the same settings in D-Log and in normal as well, because I know a lot of you just want to see what the normal picture profile looks like. Are you going to see a difference if you're using it for talking head videos like this, or if you're out using it for your travel or vlog videos? I'm using the Mic 3 and we'll just sync the audio between the two. At some points, I may test out the internal microphones as well. So now you've seen it with D-Log M, let's quickly switch to the standard auto picture profile, and then we'll take it outside and get some more shots. So now we have switched to the standard picture profile. This is the profile that you can expect if you just turn on your camera and you hit record without adjusting the white balance, without adjusting exposure, without changing to D-Log M. Now, actually, I think on both the Pocket 3 and Pocket 4, they both look very good. Now, I can see on the screens here, at least, a little slightly warmer tone to the Pocket 4 than the Pocket 3 right here. You can always adjust that in post. But what do you think straight out of camera, a studio shot? What looks nicer to you? I've found in my tests when I was reviewing the Pocket 4 that skin tones look a little bit more pleasing. They look slightly softer, even though everything else is still sharp. Skin tones look slightly softer on the Pocket 4. Keep an eye on that throughout this video. So now I think we'll take you outside and we'll see what it looks like in daylight and low light. This is a walking test with the Pocket 3 on my right hand side and the Pocket 4 on my left hand side. Bit of a grey day today, and what I'm noticing is there's definitely a little bit more dynamic range on the Pocket 4. Active track is enabled on both the Pocket 3 and the Pocket 4. The Pocket 3 is on my left, the Pocket 4 is on my right, and we're both in D-Log M, just walking back to the car after work. Active track enabled with the sun behind me, so we should see some dynamic range here because I'm obviously in the shadow. going to walk towards the end of the pier. We'll turn around, quite a low sun at the moment. I think in daytime situations, the Pocket 3 and the Pocket 4 are actually very, very similar, but the detail is in the shadows and the highlights. On the Pocket 4, in a lot of the clips that I've reviewed, you tend to see a lot more detail in the clouds and in the shadows. So if you tend to film a lot in low light situations, early mornings, evenings, the Pocket 4 could be the way to go. But the Pocket 3 still looks fantastic. So this is a low light test in D-Log and D-Log M. Pocket 3 on my left, Pocket 4 on my right. So this is extremely dark. Only the street lights on at the moment. So we'll see what the dynamic range is like on these two cameras. Just cars and street lights in D-Log, and then we'll put it on the normal picture profile to see what it's like. Okay, so this is the normal picture profile on both cameras. And this is what the low light looks like. Active track on both cameras. What do we think? So from my previous tests, I think that the Pocket 4 has better low light performance, but what do you think? I'm just gonna hold it away from me. Let's just get the shot in the background there. This is on the normal picture profile. Okay, so editing D-Log M or D-Log footage from your DJI Pocket 4 or Pocket 3 is super easy to do. All you need to do is, first of all, you need one of these. This is the Editor's Keys backlit keyboard for Final Cut Pro. We have these for Premiere or any of the video editing programs that you may use. It's backlit, it contains all of the shortcuts for Final Cut Pro, and this is going to make your editing easier than ever before. So rather than spending hours and hours and hours editing, this is going to shave off tons and tons of hours over the year when it comes to your editing. Right, now that's connected. We've got our grey D-Log footage here in Final Cut. All I'm going to do is drag and drop a custom LUT, and then we're just going to go down and we're going to select the the Pocket 4 Editor's Keys LUTs, and you can see here that I can just drag and choose one of these. Let's go down here, let's go to Fallout, and this gives it a really nice cinematic tone. So you can just turn this off and on. You really don't have to do anything to these LUTs other than really just change the intensity. That's how good the D-Log footage is, especially from the Pocket 4. You can just change how intense you want it to be. Look at that, grey to looking really, really cinematic. So what I'll do now is I'll play through a few shots using D-Log from the DJI Pocket 4. And if you want to grab yourself these LUTs for the Pocket 3, the Pocket 4, or grab yourself a Final Cut Pro keyboard or Premiere keyboard, I'll put a link in or around this video, and on YouTube, of course, it will be in the description box below. Okay, so we're back in the studio and I've been editing some of the footage here for this Pocket 3 versus Pocket 4 video. Now, I've got a load of notes here that I've made as I was filming and during the editing process, so I can give you my kind of summary of these two cameras. One thing you'll notice, I haven't got the Pocket 3 anymore. I have sold that. It's not because I don't like the Pocket 3. Of course, I love the Pocket 3. One of the best cameras I've ever owned. It's because I've bought the Pocket 4. And I got it listed literally a couple of days ago. So let's go through some of the pros and cons of the Pocket 4 and versus the Pocket 3. So I just like doing videos like this where it's quite lengthy and you can see the footage side by side. It just gives you the option to see what you like. Not everyone should just listen to a YouTuber and think, well, that's the best camera because they said. If you think the footage from one camera looks better than the other, that's the camera that you should go for first of all. But what I would say is, firstly, looking at my notes, is the color profiles and color grading and D-Log. I want to mention that. So first of all, what I would say is the skin tones throughout the video, I thought looked much better on the Pocket 4. It looks a little softer, and the Pocket 3 I always felt was slightly green in its color tone naturally. The Pocket 4 has shifted that and it's a little bit warmer, which is what I like. And a lot of people don't like that. I prefer that, which is why I prefer the Pocket 4. Now the Pocket 4 has full D-Log, and that means it's really, really easy to color grade. I'm color grading some footage at the moment. We've just put the editor's keys one-click fix on this, and you can just see the difference that you get, the dynamic range. It's absolutely beautiful, and I would say for sure the Pocket 4 has more dynamic range than the Pocket 3, and it's really noticeable in scenes where you get a lot of dark areas like these rocks here and the sky, and you see things like the clouds, wispy clouds in the distance. The Pocket 3 is very, very good, and I'm not putting it down, but the Pocket 4 is just that level above where you think that's going to clip or that's going to be too dark. With D-Log, full D-Log, you are able to rescue that in the edit. Now also, because this has full D-Log, it means you can use the editor's keys D-Log LUTs, which you can check out the link in or around this video. Just check out a few examples here of the D-Log 4 footage with these LUTs on. It looks absolutely fantastic, and because you have all of this extra dynamic range and the sensors a little bit better, the LUTs look better than ever before. You can of course get these for the Pocket 3 as well, but check out a few of these shots and check out the link in or below this video. Now, as I mentioned, I like the warmer look that the Pocket 4 has, whether you have it in normal mode or you film in D-Log, which I've done here, and just put on even DJI's own Rec 709 LUT. I like the warmer look. I think it looks softer, and it looks closer to, I'd say, like a Canon camera, the sort of slight softness that you have with a Canon camera. This is what this DJI Pocket 4 is more like. It has that sort of softer filmic tone to the entire footage, which I really do prefer in the Pocket 4. Again, it's not a huge difference to the Pocket 3. I'm just nitpicking here, and you know, I like this in this one. Now, a couple of other things I noticed while filming. First of all, the battery life was better on the Pocket 4. Now, I have had the Pocket 3 for way over a year, so it's had a lot more use. But I did find that when I was doing side-by-sides, this had like 80% left when I was filming for like a couple of hours. The Pocket 3 was down to about 56%, something like that. So even without a battery handle or any kind of extension, I think the Pocket 4 is going to last you throughout the day a lot longer than the Pocket 3. I really like the 2x lossless zoom. Yes, the Pocket 3 does have that. And if you don't mind stopping recording and then zooming in and then recording, you know, you don't need that in the Pocket 4. But the Pocket 4, you can do this whilst recording, and that's really, really good. So if you are filming and of course you want to see something in the distance, you don't have to stop recording, hit the zoom, which you've now got these extra buttons at the bottom here, and you can carry on recording, and that's really good. Now we're in the edit, and when it comes to editing, because you have that internal storage, what I'm finding is I'm just recording straight onto the camera here, plugging it in with USB-C straight into my Mac, opening up Final Cut Pro, and then pulling in the footage. And because this now has faster transfer speeds of around 800 megabits per second, this transfers so fast. I mean, you're going to have gigabytes and gigabytes worth of footage if you're filming in 4K, and this is going to come across to your Mac or PC in a snap. And for me, because I film a lot with this camera, it's surprising what a difference that makes. I actually just thought, okay, that's marginal. I can go make a cup of tea. But you drag footage over and it's on your desktop or in your drive or in Final Cut Pro within a matter of seconds. It's really, really nice. And then we have the improvements to low light and the fill light that you can attach to the camera. So first of all, what I would say when it comes to the low light, yes, this is a little bit better in low light. So if you find that you're filming a lot of your videos at night time, maybe you're out in cities at night, this could be better.
especially if you have it in a normal picture profile. What I find in D-Log, and I'm going to mention this in another video, is when you put on D-Log, the ISO starts at 400. So it introduces actually a little bit more noise than the Pocket 3 does. So even though this is better in low light, if you're filming in D-Log M versus D-Log, the Pocket 4 is actually slightly worse when it comes to low light performance and grain. So something I'll talk about in another video. Not a lot in it, but you will have more noise, especially if you're using that 2x zoom with the Pocket 4. And some people have noticed that on my previous videos. So just one thing to look out for. Now, when it comes to the price, the Pocket 3 is still available. They are continuing to sell the Pocket 3. It's priced at £389, which is an absolute steal, an absolute bargain. And this Pocket 4 is priced at £445. So not massively more expensive. So my summary is, if you have the Pocket 3 already, and you've seen the footage, I don't think you need to rush out and get the Pocket 4. Like, honestly, it's all about the content. It's about how you film that content, how you do your storytelling. And the Pocket 3 and the Pocket 4, yeah, there are differences, but you only really notice them side by side. I mean, even when I've been watching some of these clips together and I've been editing some here, I've been sending some to Lewis, I have to check the folder to see which one was the Pocket 3 and 4. It's that close in some of the shots. But for me, the subtle improvements, the better battery life, the D-Log, the slightly softer cinematic look that the footage has, the warmer skin tones, the ability for an additional fill light, I do think it's worth it. If you're coming to the camera for the first time and budget isn't an issue, I would say go for the Pocket 4, 100%. Go for it. If budget is an issue, go for the Pocket 3. Like at $389, you are getting a cinematic beast. And I've always said this about the Pocket 3. I genuinely think this is one of the best small pocket cameras you can have for traveling, for business, for just doing YouTube content. It's so good because it's so versatile and it genuinely does fit in a pocket. So many cameras say they fit in a pocket or they're point and shoots, those kind of things, and they don't fit in your pocket. You have to wear around your neck. This, you can put this in your pocket and you're good to go. And the footage, as I'm sure you'll agree, looks absolutely fantastic. So I hope this video has helped you. If it has, let me know and I'll see you in the next video.